thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me. We are trying a lot of new makeup. One of the newest products to me is this one by Chanel. It's in the shade 232. It is, I think, the only matte eyeshadow I have from this collection of Chanel singles. I've also got some other products from Sweed right here and Queen MUSIA, as well as some other new products that you might be interested in. This is a really quick, effortless look, so let's go ahead and get started. I actually have sunscreen on right now. I'm trying this out, the Brush on Block. It's SPF 50, and it's a broad spectrum SPF 50 universal tint, and it looks like it's doing pretty well. Like, it doesn't have a white cast. It's got zinc oxide 12% as its active ingredient. So yeah, it feels really nice and it looks pretty good on the skin. Okay, we're gonna go in though with this product. It's by Sweed. It's their Glass Skin Foundation, which is new to me. And I think I need to do just a little bit because it looks like it might be more color than I need. Like my hand and my face are two different shades. So we're gonna go kind of light with application first. So you can see there, it has a little bit of an olive tone to it. I love their lip Penelope Rose. I think it's so pretty. And they did send this one my way. I may have unboxed it, I think. Evening out of the skin tone. It lays really close to the skin, so it doesn't look like makeup sitting on the skin, even on top of this SPF. But I think, yeah, a light layer like this, especially because you can see I'm a little bit pinker than the actual tone of this 08 is the shade. So it cuts any of that red because it has like an olive undertone on me. Okay, next let's go in with this concealer I've been testing out, the REFY one in shade 11. And I had done a wear test on this and it actually is really quite nice. So just a little bit. We're gonna do a really natural look tonight because we're going out to just we're going out to a casual dinner. So I just want something equally as casual. Just want to try it again here. It is a bit peachier than the foundation, so this might work. Let's try it. Actually, it looks pretty good. From what I could see, this was primarily created for the under eye area from what I could read, but then when I tried this the first time on these spots, it looks really nice on the skin. More of like a serum-y texture versus a thick concealer. So it sits really closely to the skin and it provides some nice coverage. And like I said, against this particular foundation, it looks peachy toned, which is what I need to combat any of these like gray, dark brown spots. Do a little bit more under the eye. Just so you can see before I powder how nice that looks, that concealer on the face. It's really nice. I just wish it was a slightly peachier and slightly lighter, but the texture itself meshes really nicely. It's a very, very thin layer while providing some nice coverage. Let's go in with this, which is new to me. It's a Miracle Powder by Sweed, and they sent this to me as well, so thank you, Sweed. This is in the shade 3 Golden Medium. The buildable, long-wearing coverage, interesting. Skin matching pigments, clean, nourishing, breathable, vitamin and mineral infused. Magic filter with blur and glow effect. Okay, so I haven't actually read that much about this. So I do like to try product out before I actually read too much about it because I want to get an impression before an impression is made for me, if that makes sense. This La Mer brush, right away though, I think it's going to be too dark because that's a lot of color. I usually go with lighter powders, especially for the center of my face, but let's try it on the exterior first and see how it goes. And then we'll slowly add some more. Oh, actually, oh, it's very nice. So let me do half, you can see. Okay, I thought that was gonna add color to my face, which I don't want any more color on here because already it's a little bit deeper than I had intended, but it's a pretty good match. But I just have to be careful with the center of my face because it's lighter than everything else. And if I have the center of my face off, then everything seems to be off. Oh, okay, this is a really impressive powder. It reminds me a little bit of this, and I just took it out, the Rodial. This is the glass powder, which I haven't used for a while, but I remember it had a nice, like a nice glow to it, but really finely milled. So it was both a filtering effect as well as a glow, and just enough glow. So this one also has a very similar lovely effect on the skin. So here you go, let me lean in. Here's the powdered side and the non-powdered side. So it's a little bit more filtered, but it's got a healthy glow, so it's not like a flat powder that's absorbing all of the light, but it's supposed to be like a heavy duty powder. Oh, this is really pretty. Lovely. Okay, this is not what I expected. Not sure what I expected. Maybe I thought it was gonna feel heavier or be darker or something, I don't know. But it has a lovely, like, even though it has a glow, it's a nice perfect. There are a few products I found that are like glowy powders that actually improve the appearance of skin, and this is one of those. It's really pretty. Not what I expected at all, in a good way. Let me just finish powdering. I received this from Chantecaille. It's their Rose de Mai Lip Balm. I'm just gonna add some of that. It's really nice and hydrating. It's got more of that like lip chic kind of feel to it. Let's go in with this. This is new from Chanel, new to me as well. It's number 232 Lilac Poudre. I'm taking this nice fluffy brush by BK Beauty. It's their 201. I kind of want to do like a watercolor almost, where I take the color and just kind of apply it pretty far out. So that's why I want to take a fluffy brush here. So go on the lid, but also just blend it out. So you see the color, but it's kind of translucent, even though this is matte. I want it just to be a wash of color. That's what I'm trying to say, a wash of color. Just simple. So I didn't know if I would love a matte. I do like satin. It's my favorite kind of finish, but I like this because it is a bit translucent. So it's not this solid matte color. It's very delicate. This REPHR number 3, it's kind of a small brush here, and we're just going to run that close to the lash line, just to intensify the color right along the lash. I think this is a really sophisticated way to do color. It's interesting, when you go a little bit more intense, it has more of a blue tone, but the more sheer it is, it has more of a red tone. So I don't know if you can see the difference there, but it's like bluer undertone, and then out here is more of like a pinky. Usually I'm trying to brighten under here, but let's see. Let's see how it goes. Okay. And then that's pretty much all we're going to do with the eye. I would like to play with this a little bit just to get some dimension, but today we'll leave it like this, and we'll play with this a little bit more when I get the other palette in, the light corals, on the way. But I want to go in with this mascara by Queen MUSIA 2053. They sent this to me as well. It's got a nice brush on it. I've played with this maybe once or twice. I don't think I've played with it on camera, but I thought I would show you in case you were interested. Because their lipstick is really beautiful. It was a bit bright by itself or on its own. So that's why I layered it with so many other colors, but some of you might like that brightness. It's a beautiful formula though. Okay, so this is like a really wispy kind of mascara. So I'm gonna build this up, and then let's do something with the blush. But you can see here, it is glowing from that powder. But one thing I noticed is that it influenced the color of the concealer. It's not as seamless, so I'm going to have to fix that. I think maybe with a little Valentino. So let me apply this mascara and then we'll do that together. Okay, I feel like the cheeks are really glowing, but it's the wrong shade. But let me fix my eyes first because I need to clean up the corners. But it's a really wispy mascara. If you're looking for a wispy mascara, that's about 4 coats is what I have on there. So it took a minute to get there. So if you want to build up your lashes, maybe not this one. It's not the most volumizing, but it's really natural looking. Okay, and then let's go ahead with some Valentino blush, just because I want to fix this first. Let's use this BK Beauty 107 brush. I can add other blushes on top of this. I just needed to even this out first, but you can see, wow, the glow from that powder even shows through this blush. Very nice. Going in with the medium palette, Medium Rose Gold by Chanel. Just taking the bronzer first. And then I'm going to take a little bit of these top two together, just so I get a bit of a glow. I'm going to take this color right here and just go across this part of my cheeks, like right under the eye on my nose. And then let's do pop of color with that pink shade in there. I know some of you think I put a lot of powder on. I do. I put on a lot of different powders, but not a lot of powder. I think there's a difference because I put on thin layers of powder for different purposes. Like this one would be to set this loose powder. But then I would go in, I'm going to go in with this Perfect Blur Powder by Chantecaille just to smooth this out and even it out. That always helps when it's a little off on the front. It brightens nicely because I think the powder threw off the color of the concealer. But you can still see the glow from underneath. It's really interesting. What kind of lip should we do? Let's do something. Let's add this lip color, this lip liner, and then let's add a color on top. So this is a Chanel lip liner, and this is in the shade Rose Framboise, and its number is 182. Actually, I think that works really nicely with the eye. Let's try this. This is by Flight 70, and it's one of their tinted lip balms in the shade Tempted. I think a bright pink lip is pretty with this eye. Okay, and then let's try one more thing because we're gonna be outside just a little bit. So I wanna see what this looks like on. It's the Brush on Block with the blue brush here, and it's SPF 50 mineral sunscreen. So let's see what this looks like on. I love that I have SPF that I can apply over makeup without disturbing it. And this brush really helps because it's so soft. Okay, interesting observation when I looked in the mirror. This in the front of my face got a little bit discolored, like almost like a greenish tone, and I'm not sure if it was a combination of the powder, like too much of that Sweed powder, and then the concealer underneath. I'm not quite sure. So what I'm going to do is to bring this up in terms of brightening it a little. I'm going to take this Valentino 09 because it typically like lifts it because it's a little bit lighter and does some color correcting. So if there's something that's like too deep and green almost, I can usually fix it with this and then Perfect Blur powder, which is why I love those two so much. And yes, I know it's a lot of powder for the front of my face, but the color is getting thrown off. And then when I go in with this Perfect Blur powder, I'm not picking up more powder. I'm just using what's on the brush and smoothing it. So I'm not like adding a lot more powder. I'm buffing it out. Yeah, it's still a little off. Now I would like to try this with maybe a more peachy concealer, something like this Jones Road might work nicely. I'll have to see over time how that works. But in terms of the products, this was really nice. This Brush on Block Sheer Genius Mineral Sunscreen. Yeah, you could see there was not a white cast with this when I had it on my face initially, and it felt really nice. It wasn't too slippery. Sometimes SPF products can leave too much hydration. So it's had a nice dry down and it looks lovely on the skin, and it's tinted and it's SPF 50 and it also is mineral, it says. So I like that. Even though it says moisture, it wasn't like oily. I skipped moisturizer. I just had serum on and then I went in with that. Okay, next was the Sweed Glass Foundation. Really nice. It's lightweight, it's a thinner consistency, it's more fluid, of course. It seemed to adhere well, really close to the skin. I think the color was just slightly olive for me, but it looks okay right now. But I think it's because of some of the bronzers and everything else that I put on there. I really liked this powder, except I wonder if I could have had something with a peachier undertone. If you look at it right here, it's like a brown tone, which is fine, but usually I go for a more peachy tone because I powder in the center and I have that darkness there, so anything peach helps. But it had a nice glowy effect on it. I'm going to see how the powder actually does as a powder in terms of absorbing. It is made in Korea. I'm just looking at the bottom here, so I will continue to use it, but it does remind me a lot of the Glass Powder by Rodial. It's beautiful on, so I want to see how this works with other foundations, or maybe even by itself. I want to try this with maybe some SPF and then the Jones Road Beauty and then this. I think that might be interesting. It had a really beautiful natural finish. I like that. It was a very non-powdery powder. We tried this on, this SPF 50 powder, and I'm always looking for a nice powder SPF I can apply after my makeup has been on for a while as a reapplication kind of product, or even just going with the SPF and then putting this on for something really quick. And then I'd love to pair it with some of my SPF blushes, but that I got from CL, like something like this, or my SPF bronze. Let me know if you want a whole SPF look. I can try that. It's more of what I wear on an everyday. I definitely like to have as much SPF on as I can during the day. And then we've got this lovely eyeshadow. Let me take a look. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to add just a little bit of trench because I feel like maybe that was not the best to put it under. Let's just put a little bit because I feel like, as I said, it has like a red-ish component. Right here, you can see as it sheared out. But you could see when it was more intense that it actually had a bluer kind of tone, which I thought was kind of an interesting dynamic with this eyeshadow. So I think that's a little bit better. So I might skip putting it underneath. Just depends, I think, on how you like your eyeshadow, but I like just that sheer wash of color. But I would like to see it maybe heavier and layered with something with a glow. That might be really beautiful. And then revisiting my other Chanel products I love, like this lip liner I think was fun. And then if you're looking for something with color and a little bit of sheerness, this Flight 70 is nice in Tempted. I forgot to mention the weight of this mascara is very nice. Like it feels very substantial, but it's a kind of opposite effect. It's very natural, a very, very natural mascara. If you like that, I prefer more volume quickly. So it's not my speed of mascara, but it's a very fluttery lash if you like that. It looks really natural. So it's definitely fun trying some new products and newer to me products, and also products that I have been loving. So it's kind of a combination of newer, and newest products. I will be revisiting this eyeshadow 232 in an upcoming video when I get that light coral palette. Let me know if you have any of these products. I'd love to know what your experience is with them, especially with some of the Sweed products. They are newer to me, but I am really enjoying a lot of the products that they've sent my way. So let me know if you have any of these products. Please leave any of that helpful information in the comment section below. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.